So recently I started collecting games again, and I thought I'd run through some of the recent console-specific titles I found. I've gotten these from eBay, op shops, upcycling stores, and even retro gaming stores. The titles vary from classics I haven't but should have played to series I'm looking to revisit, and even random pickups because of either the developer being known for good titles or simply the price seemed like a good deal. Anyway, let's kick it off. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on Master System, which makes it the 8-bit version, released in 1991, soon after the Mega Drive version. I recently made it a goal to finish all of the Sonic games, so where better to start than the Master System version. I also recently posted a playthrough of this game, surprisingly original with lots of tiptoey levels. You can't just blast through them. You need to use a bit more strategy, and that includes navigating some of the stages. Now, I already own Sonic 2, so the next logical step was Sonic Chaos, released in 1993 on Master System. This is seen as the follow-up to Sonic 2 and takes a lot of inspiration from it, but it gets faster. I also love the ability to play as Tails here, I think for the first time on Master System. Looking forward to finishing this. This game is also going up in price, so I think I got it at the right time. In keeping with the Sonic theme, my next game pickup was Sonic 3D Flicky's Island on the Mega Drive, also called Sonic 3D Blast in North America. The story here is Sonic travels to an island of birds called Flickies, but finds them enslaved by Dr. Robotnik. The 3D aspect of this game was entirely new for a Sonic game on its release in 1996. Honestly, when I first saw this back in the day, it didn't look particularly fun. If I'm to finish all the Sonic games, this needs to be in the collection. Krusty's Funhouse, released on the Master System in 1992. It's another collecting goal of mine to own all of the Simpsons-based games. Krusty's Funhouse looks noticeably more polished than a lot of the other Simpsons cash-in games. Perhaps that's because it's basically a port of the game called Rat Trap, originally released on the Commodore Amiga. Hopefully it's worth the play though. It was a bargain pickup. Bart vs. the World on Master System, a platformer where you play as Bart, who travels around the world on a scavenger hunt. It was released on the Master System in 1993, and I'm guessing tries to build on the success of Bart vs. the Space Mutants, which can be off-putting due to its difficulty. This didn't get great reviews when it came out. It doesn't look to be as difficult as its predecessor. It was another bargain pickup. Lemmings, what more can you say? A time-tested classic released on multiple platforms over the years. I just thought it'd be nice to have a puzzle-style platformer on the Master System. I picked this up for only $10, which is always nice when finding classic games for any Sega system. If you haven't played Lemmings, you should definitely give it a shot. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix, released on the PS2 in 2006. Midnight Club is a series of games based on the exploits of a real-life secretive Japanese car club of the same name, who would take part in illegal street racing which earned them global infamy. This game is an open-world racing game developed by Rockstar. It's the first game in the series that allows car mods, which pretty much becomes a standard in gaming after this era. It has a bunch of race modes based around circuit racing or time attacks, all run on street circuits set in San Diego, Atlanta and Detroit. You need to win races to unlock car mods and further car upgrades. I haven't played much of the Midnight Club series outside of the arcades, but I'm looking forward to checking this out in more detail. I picked this up in an op shop for only $5. WRC2 Extreme, released in 2002 on the PS2. This got fairly high reviews when it came out, probably due to its officially licensed WRC cars and 115 stages across 15 different countries. I love a good racing game, and generally dedicated rally games are the best if you're into more of a sim racer category rather than the over-the-top arcade style racer. I picked this up for only $5 at an op shop. Pretty good bargain. SmackDown vs. Raw on the PlayStation 2. So I'm not into wrestling, but wrestling games are always super fun to play in multiplayer mode with friends. They're always a great party game. So not knowing anything about SmackDown or Raw, I grabbed this title hoping for some arcade craziness. From what little I've played, it looks to be more on the realism side of things, but perhaps I'll get into this more when I learn a bunch of more moves and timings. Power Volleyball on the PlayStation 2. This was a throwaway title I picked up for cheap, hoping that would be a fun arcade-style game for multiplayer or parties. It looks to be aimed at a certain portion of the Japanese market who into a certain style of game. From the short period I tested it out, I might need to turn some of the audio off, because it seems like it could get quite annoying after a while. Tekken 4 on the PlayStation 2, a classic of the 3D fighting genre. Released in 2002, this game was a bit of a landmark as it allowed players to interact with obstacles in the fight arena. I've only ever played the Tekken series briefly. I normally stick to the Mortal Kombat Street Fighter series, but I thought I'd give Tekken a proper go and pick this up. It has a total of 23 characters, with 13 or so returning from Tekken 3. I remember seeing this in the arcade before its PS2 release, and I was blown away by the 3D at the time. Got this for a bargain, $5. NRL Rugby League on the PlayStation 2. A genuinely fun title which actually has licensed players and real stadiums from around the world, including Australia, New Zealand and the UK. It looks to be a really good mix of arcade fun and sim-style reality, putting it in the same grade as its FIFA series sporting counterpart. You probably don't need to even be a fan of rugby league, as this game is easier to play than a lot of NFL-style games I've played. It's probably a novelty for those outside of rugby league countries, but because it's more on the arcade side of things, it still makes it fun and accessible.
Let's look at that play again.
Devil May Cry 3 on the PlayStation 2. Released in 2005 by Capcom. I picked this up because I saw the Capcom title. I've never played the series, but it centers around a character with a demon heritage named Dante and his various intertwined family drama, which happens to involve saving the world. This game is a prequel to the story of the first. It's probably not right jumping into it out of order like this. The game's third-person hack-slash-arcade style means you're not entirely focused all on the plot anyway. The series is still going strong with Devil May Cry's release in 2019. It's got semi-good reviews when it came out, so I'm looking forward to find out more in a playthrough. Ricky Ponting International Cricket 2005 on the PlayStation 2. The mechanics of this game are pretty solid, but I was disappointed to find out that all of the other players in the game aren't actually licensed, other than Ricky Ponting, which is a shame. The graphics are also pretty far behind the mark for 2005, but in the end it looks to be a bit of arcade fun without being too serious. Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PlayStation 3. Third-person stealth action game. I mainly picked this up because I haven't played the Metal Gear Solid series and have heard it's one of the most memorable gaming experiences out there. In a way, it pioneered the stealth-style real-time action game. Such as my ignorance of this series, I had to do a double take when I wikied the title and saw that it debuted in 1987. Anyway, because I've missed the memo, I also went and found a follow-up title. Metal Gear Solid 5 on the PlayStation 3. 2 Metal Gear games for $10? Bargain. So from some brief reading, it looks like Hideo Kojima has been involved in this series since the beginning. Honestly, where was that memo? This is the 8th game in the series, and the graphics in this opening title still almost look current gen. This is the PlayStation 3 after all. Anyway, I'm not quite sure if it's blasphemy to start the series at Metal Gear Solid 4. I'll definitely now have to track down the previous games before jumping in. Need for Speed Pro Street on the PlayStation 3. I picked this up mainly because I've been a long-time fan of the Need for Speed series, ever since the first game was released on PC way back in 1995. The series has definitely gone up and down over the years. Pro Street was released in 2007, and by the looks of the reviews it might be amongst the lower points of the series. But I thought I'd give it a go regardless. At some point I'm hoping to play through the series in order, so this will aid in that goal. Dark Souls 2 on the PlayStation 3. I'm just going to come out and say it, I've never played the Dark Souls series, but I'm aware of its cult status and of its infamous difficulty. It was the main reason I picked this up. Another classic in the third-person action role-playing genre. This is a sequel to the original Dark Souls, which many cite as one of the best video games of all time. Itself a spiritual successor to the original Demon's Souls, which has recently been remade. I thought it high time I played the series. I'll be playing it in order though, so I need to source the original. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst on the PlayStation 3. Naruto is one of the most beloved anime fighting series around, so I saw this for $5 and couldn't say no. It was given mostly positive reviews on its release in 2013. It's essentially a third-person action hack-slash with a focus on story, but perhaps less of a focus than some of its counterparts. It'll be interesting to see how that mix of the story and action is handled, because sometimes in this style of game, there's too much reliance on either, and it can be a jarring experience. But either way, I'm looking forward to checking this title out. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.